CLG, if Chowster can take advantage of that early brush, then very quickly that lane moves to their favor. They have that great kill potential, but that early pink ward will allow Janna to get in that range harass. Kog'Maw has enough range. With the slow, maybe they can harass down Alistar a little bit, not have to worry about that. So, both teams, not the best level 1 for Dignitas. I'm a little bit surprised. I was thinking CLG might come in, and they're actually moving up to the red to see if they can get an engage. Sometimes you'll see the top sitting in that tri-brush. So Dignitas just going to get this blue. Mundo usually starts red, but they recognize that's probably going to be a contention point, so don't want to be in position for that.
The majority of Lee Sins usually start at the red buff. They can go ahead and get that quick level 2 gank when they need. But CLG, they have Alistar. Alistar quite possibly the best champ. If you want a level 1 invade, level 1 team fight, he has that pulverize, wonderful AoE pop-up stun. You can definitely take a champ out with that. But it does not appear that they will be engaging anyone in the jungle for the level 1 anytime soon, because Dignitas, they're over around the blue area. CLG, more than content, getting rid of Raze, making sure no one's there, and will more likely take the red as well.
Yeah, and so that is going to set Mundo behind a little bit. He is an extremely fast jungler, so it's not really going to be that much of an issue, but it prevents him from being as aggressive as he would like early in the game. And they know if CLG can control that early game aggression, not allow Mundo to roam, put Lee Sin behind it all, then very quickly they can try and take control of this game. And so they will be able to get this red buff. And actually, we're going to be giving Voyboy the blue buff bottom lane, so he can control bottom lane in the 1v2, and then Kog'Maw and Janna are coming up into this top lane to shut down Gangplank, and that's going to be an extremely difficult lane. Gangplank does have the parley for the range farm, but without the blue buff himself, he will run out of mana extremely quickly, so definitely an interesting strategy from Dignitas. And Lulu, I would imagine, is safe enough. It'll be interesting. Lulu has, her polymorph is instant. So against a champion like Alistar, Alistar tries to be aggressive. Lulu gets the polymorph off while he's in motion, and instantly it just shuts down his combo. But at the same time, if they do get the combo off, then Lulu will probably be going down.
Dignitas should have their little warning lights on just for a moment, because they do not have vision on Alistar just yet. Chester's just now coming into the bot lane. They're trying a little bit maybe fake out there, trying to think, oh, Alistar's totally roaming. He's not in bot lane at all, but he is now here. Double lift is with him, and hopefully Voyboy does not get caught out.
Wow,
whoa,
look at that harass damage from Lulu.
What? Okay.
just fantastic. Voyboy, right off the start, taking control of that lane.
Okay.
This is just going to go for the rest of the evening now. I hope people can hear it on stream, because otherwise this is just like an awkward silence moment. We're like, oh, this is hysterical. Look at us laughing here on stream.
I had a little John moment. You have to excuse me. But Voyboy's actually doing pretty well, considering he's being in a 2v1 bot lane.
Yeah, and with that spam ability, you can actually shield your own creeps, or even shield the enemy creeps, and then be able to get in that Q, that ranged harass. And that's really what he's using. He's using that effective Q ranged harass to just slowly wear them down, and it's definitely working out for them. So Lee Sin getting the red buff, and now this is where the danger comes, because Chowster does have that flash. If Chowster is able to engage, but we actually had the ward on the red, so really effective job by Dignitas early in the game. So Voyboy knows it's coming, is able to back up and be safe there.
So now Double Lift and Chowster will go ahead, push back out into the middle of the lane, but Locust Cutie Pie pushing Hotshot to tower, and actually getting chunked out quite a bit, just isn't even able to farm that effective. He's got very little mana left. He's not going to be able to spam parlay quite a bit. What did he need? He's no potions left either.
Oh, Chowster.
Chowster catching out Void by getting the pulverize. Lulu will go down and dominate, has to walk away.
And
nice.
there it goes, that burst potential with the aggressive jungler. They just can't do that. And so Alistar, one of his best combos isn't when he uses his abilities to knock you back, it's when he pins you against a wall. And being able to get that positional advantage against Voyboy definitely needs to hug the side that Alistar's on a little bit more. But and a ward also. Get that early ward. We have Mundo dropping the ward for him, but a little bit too late.
And not to mention that now St. Vicious has a freshly renewed blue buff. So you got to get some nice cooldown reduction there. Continue the ganking, continue the aggression, and we actually may see Locust and Cutie Pie may actually be the next targets. Pings going down top river. And Dignitas is actually pinging around Dragon area. I think they might, in the possible near future, maybe just get a few wards down there. But right now, St. Vicious waiting for things to push out. Chowster and Doublelift are now top lane. So we do have the switch back here.
And Alistar's flash is actually up still, so he's coming after Cutie Pie here. Cutie Pie definitely out of position. There's the headbutt pulverize, but not flashing for it. I thought he could maybe flash for the pulverize, but we actually have them tower diving. And so there's the slow from St. Vicious. There's the exhaust as well. Doublelift going to be able to pick it up, but the heal. There's barely the kill, and now we have the teleport in from Boy Boy.
But Dominate is
Dominate
nearby.
as well. We do have Chowster is going to go down. There's the double kill. Boy going to be able to pick up the kill and Doublelift, but he's going to flash over the wall. Janna, we have Locust. He's going to get the slow.
We got the slow.
Can you get out of there?
Cleanse away. Doublelift, will he be able to get out? He's trying to juke them. Walking up through the forest. We got the shots from Lulu. Will he be able to finish him off? We got pushing away Janna. Doublelift, will he be able to get away? We got the silence from Soraka. Can't deny yourself, but you know what? Screw it.
And it is done. The silence finishing it off.
Yeah,
Doublelift not able to get out.
Almost got to tower. Almost was able to deny herself, but just couldn't make it in time. Silence doing the job, getting the last ticket damage, and you know what? Just accepted fate. Ran towards the towers like, I welcome death. It's unfortunate.
Even so, we saw the effective, play from Dignitas, keeping it even with the teleport in. Their whole team just collapsing. And able to get that hot shot, getting some nice farm down here while Lulu's out of there. But yeah, pretty even game so far. We'll see, whether or not CLG starts, how they start pressuring the game, whether we see some ganks on Soraka, or if they've just kind of decided that Soraka's not a gankable lane. But St. Vicious is in this bottom lane. There it is, shielding to the creeps with the slow. The Janna Whirlwind is not going to be enough. They're still chasing, and they're going to jump on them. There's the Ignite onto I'm a Cutie Pie. He doesn't have the ultimate yet, so one more parlay would have done it, but hot shot can't get it off, is going to have to back out, almost going under that tower.
Could have been a crit, could have been a crit, could have been a kill, but unfortunately it was not. But Cutie Pie is actually still sticking around. Wants to get a little bit more gold, a little bit more XP farming at tower, but being pinged by CLG, they may actually still go in on this, but they see recalling Cutie Pie. You're not going back. Why is he still in lane? We got the ult from Gangplank trying to slow him down. St. Vicious.
Alistar is definitely going to be able to take him out. There's
Lulu,
the
top lane,
Doublelift.
Boy being focused down. Chowster and Doublelift trying to get what he can. Has no choice but ult go, but the wall goes down, keeping him trapped, and Doublelift gets the kill.
Fantastic play. You saw Anivia on her way up. They didn't have the ward coverage at first. She started dipping into their jungle to kind of keep out of vision, and this ward here is new by Mundo, so Anivia able to get up there, trap Lulu in there. Lulu had the survivability, almost able to get out, but quick advantage for CLG.
Blue buff being pinged by Chowster. I think we're going to be going ahead and giving that to Big Fat, but Scar will see him leaving. So they do have a little bit more information. They know that Anivia's going to be getting blue buff very soon. Doublelift pushing down top tower while Dominate's just running around back and forth in circles. And bot lane, we have Cutie Pie continuing to push down there. But Doublelift will not be able to take out this tower outright. But St. Vicious in the mid, possibly can. We got this, misses the Q, does hit a minion, cannot get Scar, and will decide to back off just a little bit. But Boy returning to top lane, Dominate will back. Nothing gonna happen there, but look at Scar. But look at Scar is doing pretty okay for himself. I mean, not the biggest of creep leads, but still, we have the Star Call. What is Star Call at now? It's level 4 already. One more level, and those waves are just gonna disappear like magic.
Yeah, and I mean, what we've seen a lot of from Soraka is that pushing power. Haven't seen a lot of invasion from Soraka. I was kind of wondering if you push aggressively, whether or not you would pop into the jungle. That's pretty common, but just comfortable with getting kind of tanky as the game goes on. And with that double buff on Doublelift, it's really just going to be so difficult for Lulu to control that. That wasn't supposed to be a pun. Come on, give me a break here.
Just take credit for the pun. Just take credit for it.
I don't want credit for the pun.
You're getting credit for it. I don't care.
But we do see, Chowster coming up here, going to see maybe a tower dive on Boy, and that's, one of the strengths of Lulu. If you get those early tower dives, Dignitas actually going to go for this dragon, and being able to take that dragon will definitely be huge, bring them into an advantage so that they can, stall out the game until that super point. We actually have Gangplank and Lee Sin coming on Cutie Pie. There's the exhaust, the ultimate going off. They will chase him down, but the rest of the team is here. They're going to turn the tides. Whirlwind not hitting, and then no cleave, but they are able to get Cutie Pie out of there after getting that dragon.
Cutie Pie kicked away. Could have hit a few members of Dignitas, but they're just a little bit too far away. But we have now the presence once again in bot lane. St. Vicious trying to do what he can, just cannot land that Q. But it looks like Chowster and Doublelift are pretty much free farming top lane at this point. Voyboy returning to base with full health. We got, we have another switch coming on actually. Voyboy going to be going back down to bot lane.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. I'm curious, you know, at what point we're going to start seeing this aggression from CLG ramping up. I mean, they're really at that kind of stage of the game. We've seen some aggressive play from them so far. Dominate actually going to be trapped here if they engage. Chowster not going.
We got the
they
wall.
didn't have good vision, but that's a nice chunk of damage on the Dominate there. So, you know, definitely not tanky enough to deal with the burst that CLG has at this point.
So we have a switch once again. Lulu going bottom once again. Cutie Pie going back up top, and Doublelift has to defend all by himself. Chowster's not too far away, but we also see Dominate popping the ult, getting a little bit of health back just so we can stay in those fights a little bit longer. And Voyboy actually pushing down Hotshot in bot lane, right to tower, right where they want him. And Chowster and Doublelift have to defend. Pulverize, no headbutt to connect. They just want to get him away.
And here we see enough mana on Anivia right now to just push against that push from Soraka. Soraka just really aggressively pushing. Could maybe slow down Big Fat's farm, but once the blue buff's up again, it will be up in about 30 seconds, so they will be able to take that. Or actually, no, it won't, because they actually went for a different jungle path, but it'll still be up in like a minute.
Should be up soon. Should be up soon. So now things are getting a little bit stagnant, because now both teams are getting to a point where they're kind of content with just free farming. Both teams is very passive farm. The gold very even though CLG is 1 kill up. So Dignitas does have slightly superior farm overall, but yeah, at this point both teams just trying, they're just flat out pushing. Not a whole lot happening right now.
I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that CLG, they have a short-range team. They can't push down towers. Mundo is one of the best junglers in the game, so you're not really going to counter-jungle Dignitas that much, and Dignitas was able to take the dragon earlier. So CLG doesn't really have the best opportunities right now. Their primary goal is to just, kind of farm up for a second, see if you can take any advantages, and then wait for dragon to spawn, wait until you have a little bit more of an advantage to see what you can do. And then, obviously, Dignitas wants to just wait until their late game power comes to fruition.
Voyboy decided to back it get a blasting wand, a little bit extra AP, and some wards. Because we got the vision on Dignitas right now is pretty good. We got our rivers covered, we got a little nice defensive ward, but right now wards for CLG, we only have 1 defensive ward in the bot Tribush and 1 defensive ward in the top Tribush as well. Actually, no, we did 1 freshly placed top river as well. So actually, we got some nice equal vision.
And I think it's interesting, Soraka getting that fast Will of the Ancients along with her heals. She's going to have that spam ability with the Q. I actually realized I should have been looking at what her abilities are. She's been maxing Q first, so Q into W. So there you go for your AP Soraka. That used to be kind of the old build. She's only getting 1 point into silence because it doesn't give her mana anymore. But that spam ability, definitely gives her that control. And so Anivia going to be taking that blue buff. We'll see what Big Fat is able to do with it in this upcoming fight.
Cutie Pie and Doublelift dead even when it comes to creep kills right now. In the mid, Soraka 118, 120, again, dead even. How's Hotshot doing? Hotshot 83, Lulu 81. Again, it's wow. And 2 evenly skilled teams. Game 3 of a wonderful series.
It really is, and I think it's interesting, the Soraka pick, even though Soraka's mana, was nerfed, they kind of made the change to be like, yeah, you have to kind of make a decision of how you want to conserve your mana as Soraka now. Well, it doesn't seem to be an issue because, Skara has enough mana regen. I'm assuming he has some mana regen from his Runes of Masteries, but actually we have Hotshot, GG, and St. Vicious coming in here. They won't be able to get in, but with just a Doran's Blade, Soraka hasn't been getting the blue buffs. Blue buffs have been going to Voyboy. With just a Doran's Blade, or Doran's Ring, Skara has been able to sustain throughout this entire game.
Juking away from that stun. But, once we hit the late game, though.
But we have the head on top.
Chowster out in front trying to focus on Cutie Pie. We got the heals going out, and we got Locust with the ult to try and blow him away. But Doublelift still in pursuit, did ult. We'll get away.
Yeah, and so they will be safe in that lane. Janna able to get him out of there. And so, we'll see whether or not we maybe see a tower dive, whether we see any aggression once Lee Sin starts making his way up top, or if they're really just going to stall out for that next Baron. We actually heard Dragon, but we actually see a good exchange here. Locust and Cutie chasing down Double Lift, almost going to be able to pick up that kill. Chouster just going to headbutt him out of there, so they will be safe in that top lane.
Yeah, it's pretty much like standstill right up top. It's like you can't get, they can't finish the job. They can't get the quite in there. But you know what? So we have Double Lift going to back. We got a Bloodthirster on Vayne now, so that's quite a bit of extra damage. Gonna go ahead and farm that up. We did have some nice changes to it recently. Don't lose all the stacks when you die. So in the event of an unfortunate death, it's not gonna take as long to farm that thing back up.
Wow, Cutie Pie just working on Chouster there while he's alone, able to get some nice damage off, and Dragon is up, so we'll see whether or not teams start grouping for it, but Dignitas definitely has the man advantage. So we actually have Chouster jumping onto Cutie Pie. There's the exhaust. Double Lift going to chase him down. That's almost certainly going to be a kill. We'll see whether Cutie Pie can come in. Won't be able to kill Chouster. So there's a kill on Cutie Pie. It's going to be exchanged for this Dragon, but that's also going to turn into a tower top. And in the meantime, we actually have Voivoid chasing onto Hotshot. He's going to get some nice damage off. Throws off his ultimate for that slow, but just going to back off. Not going to dive it. Not enough damage. Just great survivability.
And Dignitas, in the meantime, will also pick up that Dragon as well. So we're going to go ahead back to town. A little bit extra gold, but still the gold still even between both these teams pretty much. But Double Lift has taken down a tower, so it's a little bit more gold for CLG now.
I mean, you have to really look at it. That tower was exchanged for a kill on Cog. It was exchanged for that Dragon was exchanged for a kill and 2 towers. So that was definitely a huge advantage for CLG. They gave up the Dragon willingly. They didn't want to contest it. They were like, hey, we're going to take these other advantages. They know they don't have the best pushing comp, and if you can't push aggressively, then the game is going to stall. And so they don't want the game to stall into that late game, obviously, where Dignitas comes, into their strength. So they're going to take towers whenever they can, and able to get those early towers, allows them to end the game faster, obviously, and then try and end before Dignitas can, pull off any magic.
So what do you think is the good time frame for CLG to possibly make their move, be aggressive, possibly go for Baron to try and see if they can beat out Dignitas before things start getting into the real late game?
It's really tough to say, and we do have some nice harass from Kog'Maw. I don't think that CLG wants to be so aggressive with a very quick Baron. They, Big Fat LP, Anivia isn't really the best champion at dealing with Baron. Gangplank and Cog and Lee Sin, the 3 of them will take it down very quickly. I'm sorry, Double Lift on Vayne. So Gangplank, Vayne, and Lee Sin will take it down very quickly. We'll be able to tank, but it'll probably be a while. It'll be until we get a kill. But we do have Saint just kind of camping this bottom lane. He's going to Q into Voivoid. There's the slow. So there's the polymorph, and they're going to be chasing. There's the Gangplank ultimate, but not able to chase down Voivoid. The ignite going off. But it's actually interesting because Lulu's ultimate, it's not a heal. It just gives you a flat HP. So, Soraka, the heal's countered by Ignite. Lulu, not so much, and that's kind of where a lot of that synergy comes from.
Wild Growth definitely saving her under her own tower, and Cutie Pie and Locust back up top lane. They don't have a tower to defend. Tier 1 was taken down not too long ago, so if Chouster and Double Lift decide to push, they're going to be pushing quite a ways back to Tier 2. And in the mid, Big Fat and Scara still going at it. Scara and creeps are pretty close. Creep score still remains pretty close between both these teams.
Yeah, I mean, they're both definitely all just kind of clearing creep waves, allowing each other to free farm. Not, a whole lot of aggression, but it's interesting. You would think Anivia, with her disables, would be an excellent opportunity to pick up kills against Soraka, but Soraka is able to get in those silences. You actually see Scara, when Anivia is coming in, trying to get in the Flash Frost, Scara running towards the Flash Frost because he knows he needs to get in that silence to prevent that killing potential from Anivia. And then, once Anivia is silenced, there's not a whole lot that Big Fat's going to be doing there.
Yeah, we also nice target for the silence with these St. Vicious. Take down the mobility once we start getting into the team fight stage. And now Ping's actually going down from Dignitas towards the CLG blue buff. Possibly an invasion coming in the future. I think they have a nice idea where CLG may be searching around, but it looks like Alistar will just go ahead and back Chester making his way back to town. Who's he going to pick up? Got that Kindle Gem. Going to be looking towards that Shirelia's very soon. But Doublelift is alone. Top lane, Locust cannot get in. There is a ward in that bush. So Doublelift knows. The rest of Dignitas is here, but they're still going to go. Doublelift a little bit indecisive. We got the slow coming in. We got the cleaver. We got the tornado. But we have the counter ult from Gangplank keeping Dignitas away. And
you see
Boy taking down bot turret in the meantime.
You see Dominate with that Oracles is able to get that map control, not allow CLG to get any aggression. There's the get up the slow and being chased by Big Fat. Scar is actually just going to turn back onto him because Boy is coming in here, and now Big Fat is very low under this tower. He is egged. Will they have enough damage? It's going to be close, very close to taking him down. Just barely not able to do it. And Saint coming into the Voyboy. There's the kill, and now Voyboy turns on the ultimate. They're able to pick this up. Dominate not going to be taking that under the tower, but a huge one fight for Dignitas.
I can't imagine what's going through like Big Fat's head. It's like, 45 health, I'm gonna get away, donk.
And I mean, that's what their team does. They just kind of bait you into these fights and then completely turn it around. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, what CLG is looking to do to kind of. I feel like they still have an early advantage, but they're not really pressuring it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if CLG pulls out any interesting tactics. They are pinging Baron, so. We might see them start baiting out a Baron, see if they can get their whole team grouped together.
Both teams putting pings down on Baron. Saint Vicious getting the ward actually in the pit. There's one already here in the bush. And looks like Dignitas might be mobilizing, trying to see if they can get over to Baron, get some wards down there of their own, because right now they currently have none. So Locust is there. Pink ward in the bush, get rid of that one, and they're actually going to go ahead and push up the mid. You got a nice little main wave here. Big Fat trying to clear it, but Dominate pops the ult, gets a cleaver in, and Dignitas is here to try and take down his mid-tower hotshot, being a little bit overzealous, has to flash away, and Dignitas will go ahead, take the tower, and leave.
Yeah, it's really easy for Dignitas to take the towers with the combo of Janna and Kog'Maw, so they're extremely aggressive in there. We've seen all the games of Soraka, though. It's an interesting build, going with the early Dorans for the mana regen, the Will of the Ancients into the Frozen Heart. So recognizing we have a lot of physical damage, we have Gangplank, Lee Sin, Vayne, so you shut them down with that Frozen Heart, with that slow, and Skara doesn't really need to build damage. They have the double AP in this setup, so Skara just recognizes, hey, let's get tanky. Our whole team is going to have that survivability, and we'll see CLG trying to get an aggressive engage here. Dignitas might go for another dragon again, but the concern is then that CLG is in position to go after this Baron. So PewDiePie and Lucas just going to take it to the two of them. So that's pretty effective use of their team.
CLG, however, does not have vision on Dragon at the moment. I mean, they know that a few members of Dignitas are missing, but not quite sure where. But if they had a ward down there, they would have known. They could have gone for Baron potentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. They haven't contested a single dragon the entire game, and we saw, earlier one of the dragons was definitely a strong, position for CLG to ignore it. They did have the two towers, and they were able to get the kill there. But if they keep allowing these dragons to go to Dignitas, that gold advantage, it will catch them up in gold, and then get to that late game where they can just keep on getting Cog farmed.
I mean, even look now. There's about a 3K swing in favor of Dignitas right now. And that shows all the objectives that they've been working so hard to try and get. And now all of Dignitas are moving up towards Baron. There is still a ward in the pit from CLG, and Gangplank ult going down. They know they're there. Big Fat, Saint Vicious up in front. Chaucer ready to headbutt Pulverize when need be. All Dignitas is close, and Pulverize getting 4 members of Dignitas. This can go ahead and back off. Chaucer being focused down with Saint Vicious going into the thick of it. Voyboy being focused down while Gross himself still able to live and flashes away. Chaucer up in front, got the ult still on, gonna reduce some damage, but Chaucer will be the first to fall. Voyboy is managing to get away. Double lift, very, very, very low, and will fall as well. Dominate probably gonna be next to be focused on. Big Fat LP also falls as well. And Hot Shot going down as well, and Saint Vicious cannot get the kill on Dominate.
And so there you go. CLG can't kill Dignitas anymore. It's that's the point of the game. It is, and they're going to be able to take this. Dominate is going to be pretty close to dying, but he will have those shields, the Straka heals. He will be fine. They will be able to pick up this Baron. And if CLG can't pick people off, then they just win those long fights. Dignitas is just too much sustained damage, too tanky of a team. And with that Baron, that's only going to add to it. So CLG definitely needs to try some split pushes, maybe. I mean, they don't really have a split push champion. They need to just try and catch Dignitas off guard, because they have the disables where they can pick people off. The concern is that they're not winning these big fights, and we'll see what they do to alleviate that. They definitely need some good ward coverage all over the map to try and get people out of position, but we'll see whether or not it's just too late, and that, you know, Dignitas 7K gold lead now with their super comp.
I mean, Voyboy in that last fight, though, I feel was the correct target, and you do want to get rid of someone with a lot of CC. She has the polymorph, she has the slow, she has a lot of stuff in her kit, but the wild growth in combination with all of the heal that this team has is that you just AP Soraka, that's a pretty big heal. That's a pretty big heal. You're going to be able to stay in the fights a little bit longer, but the flash away gave Dignitas the position they needed. CLG was a little bit scattered after the flash away from Voyboy. They didn't quite know where to go, and Dignitas took advantage of that.
And the fact that Dignitas can give the blue buff to Kog'Maw, it's really such a fantastic buff for Kog'Maw. He has that spam ability, you know, great range, needs it. But, you know, with those double AP, they don't seem to have mana issues. Voyboy already has his own, but he has a tier, so clearly he doesn't have any mana issues. He's got a huge mana pool, so they can afford to transition that, and they will be pushing mid, have the great range to, you know, push down this tower with the next couple of waves, just slowly harass it. CLG, though, they do have waves pushing all over the map, so, you know, if they can stall them out here, they will maybe be able to take an advantage in that means.
Yeah, the biggest thing CLG has right now, they have Anivia with the Storm clearing out the waves with ease, and you got the Gangplank Bolt as well, fantastic wave clearing tools. Dignitas is not going to be able to do all too much with Baron buff if Anivia is just going to be there storming the entire minion wave. So I think it may be in their best interest to possibly try a different objective. They still have a tier 1 tower they need to take care of in top lane. That's just about like 20% left to go.
But at the same time, I mean, they know they can just pressure this mid tower, so there's no reason for them not to take it. We'll see if we get a nice Anivia wall. There it is, onto IMQTPie, but then the Flash Frost doesn't follow up with it. So even with the shield, QTPie is actually tanking the turret, doesn't even care, just sitting there, you know, dealing the damage, and that's what they have at this point. They can sit there, be extremely aggressive. Hotshot going very low. Will they have an engage? The Whirlwind almost picking him off. Big Fat is going to go down, just barely able to flash out of there. But with them zoned now, Dignitas is going to be able to take this turret, and that's a free inhibitor for Dignitas, being able to push out CLG.
Ward going down from Dignitas just to make sure they have vision when they leave, or a potential teleport point for Voyboy if they so desire. But they'll go ahead back off. Is Dragon going to be coming around anytime soon?
I think it's up in like 2 minutes, but even if it is, it's at this point in the game, Dragon, as the game goes on and on, it becomes less and less important. The gold advantage, the experience advantage isn't really that key. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They will, you know, control it as long as they have Baron buff. But actually, we see there's the wall off, but Big Fat LP is very close to going down. Allows Dominate is chasing him down. The ultimate from Lulu, there's the egg, and I'm a QTPie going to be able to pick up that kill. So not only do they have the inhibitor, that is a 4v5 fight because Janna wasn't even there. So they will push in this bottom inhibitor, and it will be tough for CLG to defend it, the inhibitor.
Once we got these minions coming up, we should also see this next tower fall as well. There's not a whole lot CLG can do right now. We do have the Gangplank ult up, but the biggest tool they had for wave clearing was Anivia, and she's going to be gone for quite a while. They may actually be able to take Nexus. They may be able to get this. They might be able to win on this push.
I mean, they're going to slowly push. I don't know if they're going to just force it. They're actually just going straight, you know, balls to the wall for it. So we actually have, I mean, QTPie taking out some
one more hit.
Hotshot taking some damage there.
Oh,
but,
we need one more hit on that tower. Just smack it. There we go. Thank you, Dominate. CLG, now they have one Nexus turret left. Dignitas backing off a little bit. And actually, Locust is split pushing top lane.
Yeah, and with this push that Dignitas has, with the Baron and everything, it's really just, there's no stopping them at this point. They, you know, will almost certainly be able to take this game, and it was so close to CLG winning the series. They had game 1, game number 2, they were almost able to pick up the win. They had the early advantage. This one, it seemed like CLG should have come up on top early, but Dignitas, just fantastic play. They were able to take the entire beginning of the game. We saw the teleport in from Voyboy. Voyboy going down a couple of times. We saw some great kills from Doublelift and Chowster, but never able to really pressure that advantage. Dignitas always having control over those dragons, and then the early pushing from CLG just wasn't effective enough.
And we got all these wonderful item purchases from Dignitas when they backed as well. Infinity Edge, Rylai's, Shirelia's, Warmogs. It's right now Dignitas is gearing up for a good last push. We still have a tier 2 tower here in top lane. Should be going down shortly because they are around the corner. Should be taking out this wave pretty quickly. And they're also going to steal blue buff. They're in the neighborhood. They might as well visit. Might as well go for it. And CLG is getting ready to defend here. But I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to do. But Boy actually coming around. Locust is also coming around the forest area as well. But you know what? CLG is going to go ahead, back off, let them have the tower. They'll defend tier 3 and see what they can do there.
Yeah, Double Lift has to go bottom in order to stop this wave. It would basically just take their Nexus turrets if they're not defending it, because one of them is down. It will be very easy to push. And so there's the wall. We have a hard engage from CLG trying to end it. Chowster going to flash in, gets the Pulverize, followed by the headbutt onto Kog'Maw. But even so, Kog'Maw taking almost no damage. Double Lift very close to going down. Same with Big Fat LP, but they are going to be chasing, and Dignitas just too tanky at this point. They are going to chase Chowster out of there. Everyone low for CLG, and they're going to be able to take the inhibitor, going to be able to end the game, and that is GG for Dignitas any second now, taking the series 2-1 with this brand new comp. We haven't seen it before. Lulu top, Soraka mid. Just fantastic play overall.
AP Soraka, baby. It does work. It does a lot of things, but you know what? That's it. GG. Dignitas wins the set. Good stuff all around. Congratulations to Dignitas. So we are going to be seeing them in winners final